150 something.
Oh, 15.
155th episode of Drunk Doctor Who.
Welcome to episode 15. We're traveling back in time.
The greatest show in the galaxy. All right.
155.
Yep, 155th.
Did our serial count divorce the official one at some point?
Hold on. The date. It's
Today is
towards the end. It's the 19th, I think. 18th? 18th, maybe.
18th.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, I'm Hatter. This is Holden.
That's me.
And I am drinking Blind Squirrel peanut butter whiskey, which is amazing. He's drinking Diet Coke, which apparently is also amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So there we go. The greatest show in the galaxy. Today is the 18th of February. You sure it's easy? Yeah, it's easy. Anyway, it's the 18th of February.
19th. Somewhere around there.
Yeah, 18th of February, 2025. And this is like only our second or third episode of this year. So it's all good. We are racing towards the end of the original run of the show. This is the very final serial in season 25. Granted, there's only 4 in seasons 24, 25, and 26. 4 serials each. And we did our favorite...
Yeah, we did.
For the 24th season, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could do the favorite for the 25th tonight.
Towers.
Yeah, I like that one. Alright, so 4 episodes. How many deaths? Lots.
5 on screen, 5 off screen, plus 2, like 12.
12 plus all the robots.
Yeah.
And the gods, did you count those?
Oh, I didn't count the guys.
Okay.
They died.
Spoilers. Alright, so anyway, one thing I will note is I really do like this serial. The costumes are really good. With the horrible small budget they were dealing with at the time, the sets are really good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of characters, and they're all very well defined, which I like about it.
It opens on an 80s style rap. We have the showman.
Yeah.
You ever watch The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman?
No.
Musical, I think. Circus movie.
Yeah, this one just gives a little rhyming at the beginning of stuff. And you notice that the showman, whenever he was in the ring, made things rhyme.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if the doctor... No, but even if the doctor says a line, then the showman makes it rhyme with his line.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah. The doctor's like... let's see. Oh, God, I can't even think of it. But yeah, the doctor would say a line, I didn't think I'd have a voice. Well, you do, doctor, but it is your choice. And he would always make it rhyme whenever he was in the ring. Which is interesting.
Fun challenge.
Yeah. So, one other thing I want to point out. All 3 cliffhangers in here. All 3 endings to episodes. There is no direct threat. The threats every time are indirect.
Are you going in?
Right.
You're next to go in.
Yeah.
There's a werewolf about to eat you.
Well, no, the werewolf is in the middle, and you don't know what the werewolf is going to do. The werewolf is not directly coming after the doctor at that point. You give it another minute, and the werewolf was directly coming after the doctor. But at the point where the werewolf's in the middle, the doctor's like...
Transforming.
Yeah, the doctor's kind of literally like that.
I like wearing my snapback because someone commented that it looks unprofessional once.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with unprofessional.
Welcome to the Professional Drunk Doctor Who podcast.
But anyway, so, yeah. Weird thing is, nobody on screen, when it ends, is in direct peril. Every single time, there's somebody in direct peril off screen. The first time it was...
off screen, yeah.
The first time it was Bellboy?
Flower Child?
No. what was the guy's name who made all the robots?
Bellboy.
Yeah, Bellboy. Bellboy was being tortured off screen when the first episode ends.
Yeah.
The second episode, Ace is being threatened by the robots, but at the end of the episode, it's off screen.
Yeah.
That would have been the normal ending. Would have been Ace being threatened by the robots.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I think that was strange.
Yeah, and on the ending of the first episode, normally it would have been on the ticket conductor.
It seemed like they were kind of also padding for time in a few scenes.
In the fourth episode especially, yeah.
Yeah, and the recaps were kind of long too.
Yeah, maybe just a smidge.
A bit.
And then sometimes you get these really short recaps, and then like with the third Doctor, when he's fighting, when he's fighting the Sontaran, at the end of one of his,
the
the one
castle
where we met,
ones?
yeah, the one where we met Sarah Jane Smith,
Yeah.
and they show him kind of being cornered and trying to get away, and then they've got this entirely different re-intro that's completely different from the one where he was kind of being cornered, and that's him kind of escaping and fighting all of them and getting away.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a very, very long recap.
Yeah.
And then in the third episode,
Choreography going out.
yeah. And then in the third episode, normally they would have let it go on maybe a minute longer, so where he was normally being directly affected by the werewolf, but he wasn't, you know?
Or when the illusion was breaking down, when he's going into the circus tent.
Or that one, but I don't think you could pad it out episode 4 anymore.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so the Doctor and Ace are on the TARDIS, and they're traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And Ace is looking for her Nitro 9.
Yeah. Her bag went missing.
Yeah.
Doesn't just disappear.
Yeah, and then the Doctor's messing around with juggling. And as soon as he says things don't just disappear, he throws up one of the 3 balls and it doesn't come down. So it's kind of an in-joke. Now,
I think the TARDIS is having a bit of fun.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Now, this Doctor, before he was the Doctor, was a children's entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
And they used the heck out of it in this serial. Just, they let him entertain like crazy, especially in the 4th episode.
Tricks and yeah.
But also the juggling early on and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the Doctor and Ace, and she's looking for a backpack for Nitro 9, which is a great way to say, we're not going to have Nitro 9 in this episode.
Yeah.
We don't have this as a get out of jail free card.
Because they've been using that pretty much every episode.
Well, it's Ace's calling card. The baseball bat in her jacket.
Yeah.
So,
Baseball bat's gone.
yeah. Oh, yeah. But it was great for that one serial. Anyway, so the Doctor and Ace get a piece of junk mail.
Yeah, junk robot.
Junk robot. The robot shows up.
That talks back.
Yeah. Little robot pops into the TARDIS, and it's hard to get something into the TARDIS. We've seen it once before.
Materializes inside of, yeah.
Right, we saw Sutek.
Sutek.
Sutek have an image in. And I told you he came back, right?
Sutek comes back?
Sutek comes back.
Ooh.
Series 14. 14? 14, yeah. Series 14.
I like that villain.
Yeah, comes back, apparently. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm like, ooh. Anyway, so, and we see something materialize in the TARDIS later on, the Kaboom Man.
Kaboom Man.
Yeah, there's a company called Kaboom, and in Doctor Who is the space equivalent of Amazon.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Yeah, so if you order something, like a doctor
Instant
orders
delivery.
something way back when, forgot about it, and then it gets delivered, so the Kaboom Man gets access to the TARDIS to deliver it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, and if I remember right, it was a Fez.
You ordered a Fez.
Yeah, one of the future doctors really likes Fezes.
Mm-hmm. they're not wearing one.
Yeah, it's Matt Smith there, but
We've seen a Fez in the TARDIS before, in like the dressing room and
the Fourth Doctor,
or the chest when they're pulling stuff out.
right? I think the Fourth Doctor briefly comes across one. Or was it the Second Doctor? But yeah, the 11th Doctor really likes Fezes.
Sometimes you just gotta order a new one.
Hmm.
So you get this junk mail robot, Junkbot.
Yep.
Who's talking back to him, telling him about this greatest show in the galaxy, the
Psychic Circus. Okay, so
I'm excited for you to explain this one to me. 'Cause
okay,
this is another one that doesn't make sense to me at all.
okay. The Doctor gets the junk mail. The Doctor's interested in the circus, and the Doctor is incredibly headstrong in this episode of this serial. Usually he listens more to Ace. Usually he's going to go a bit more on her advice, but in this one he almost completely ignores her.
Yeah, Ace is not fond of the circus.
Yeah.
Apparently she went when she was younger and they didn't have lions or something.
They didn't have any tigers.
Tigers, no tigers.
NAF Circus didn't have tigers.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, if it
Neither
doesn't,
did this one.
yeah. To me, if it doesn't have an elephant, it's not a circus.
Yeah.
Period. You gotta have elephants.
Gotta have.
So that Cirque du Soleil, forget it.
Yeah.
I just call them acrobats and be done with it, okay?
I feel like that's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah. So the Doctor lands on the planet. What was it called?
Monopods?
Nope.
On planet Lalex?
Nope. You write down all the stuff that Captain said.
Megalithon is where the T was from.
Yeah. Okay. So they land on the planet, whatever the heck the name was. It's not a pretty planet. I wouldn't want to go there.
Yeah.
It was pretty desolate. It looked like somebody had strip mined the area and kind of left it, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so they land on this ugly planet to go to the Psychic Circus. And Ace is like, I'm not scared of anything. I'm not scared of anything, but clowns are creepy. But I'm not scared of anything, but clowns are creepy. Anyway, she gets it in her gut not to go, and the Doctor just ignores her, which he trips and falls on his hubris in this one because he gets trapped for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's happened before with like Hartnell and them wanting to turn back, and he pretends that the TARDIS
The
fluid link, yeah.
Yeah, it was out of Mercury, and he doesn't have any, and they've got to go down, and the Doctor a lot of times has a lot of hubris, and it gets him in trouble.
He just wants to have an adventure.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's a circus.
Yeah, circus is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, so apparently this particular circus was known far and wide and was really good for a long time. But then they wound up on this planet, and something sinister happens, of course. So you get pictures of a young couple running across the sand dunes, and
Bellboy and Flower Child.
Bellboy and Flower Child. Bellboy is wearing a
Very
kind of
good.
Sergeant Pepper's top,
Mm-hmm.
and he's skinny enough and good looking enough to get away with it easily. Flower Child's wearing a hippie dress, you know. She's very much the Flower Child. And there are kites above them that are looking for them. And the kites have an eye on it, you know, and that's the one connecting piece in all this is that eye.
Sauron.
Kind of, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it kind of looks like that in the crystal ball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they're trying to escape. They kind of profess love for each other, not totally, but basically they kiss, and she gives him her earring, etc. And then he's like, "Okay, I'm going to try to take a long way around. I'm going to try to get the kites on me because they'll never stop looking for us." And you go directly there, and we don't know where there is. So he kind of runs onto the road. Hey kites! Hey kites! In the meantime, there's this insane-looking Harlequin.
Yeah.
And some robot clowns in a car searching for them, using the kites with a little joystick. She ends up making it to a bus It's an old hippie bus.
Hippie, but oh, very much so. Yeah, with the painting on the side.
Yeah, the painting on it's all spray painted on the sides. The road is open. The ride is free. Please give us money. Stuff like that on the side, and pictures of them. And you can tell this was the bus that the Psychic Circus used going around places.
Grass, gas, or ass.
No one rides for free.
No, that's right.
Anyway, so she gets in there, and she gets this looks like a little toy lunchbox thing.
Mm.
She's trying to open it, and then something comes up behind her and grabs her like this.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like this, and says,
Somebody says hold her tight.
"Hold tight." He says, "Hold tight."
Yeah.
No, he says, "Hold tight." And come to find out,
Very creepy.
he killed her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, most
Off screen.
yeah. The vast majority of deaths in this are off screen, but the vast majority of them you can hear.
Just off screen.
Yeah, they're just off screen, and you can hear them in many cases. There's a couple that you actually do see on screen. The Harlequin at the end, yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh man, and they do the great thing of cutting to the reactions
Mm-hmm.
of people when other people are being tortured or killed.
Yeah.
That's a classic. You gotta love that. Anyway, so she's dead. Unfortunately, Bellboy keeps running around. He finally falls down at the feet of this cranky lady, cantankerous, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Basically a
Fruit vendor.
she's a fruit vendor, and she's got a horse and cart
A local who's not a fan of the circus.
because all the riffraff come through to go to the circus.
Yeah. Like Nord.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what is the female word for curmudgeon?
Curmudgeon.
Yeah, there's a word for a female curmudgeon. I'll think of it here in a minute.
Curmudgeonette.
No. It's a very specific word.
Oh.
Harrigan is close, but that's not it.
Hag.
No, not it. I'll think of it.
Okay.
It's a funny word. Anyway, so I hope I'll think of it. I've been drinking. He gets captured. Bellboy gets captured. In the
He
meantime,
gets picked up by the clown car.
and they take him away. Yeah. I think a little before that, but the Doctor and Ace show up in the TARDIS.
Mm-hmm.
They're not quite at the Psychic Circus. They bump into the old lady.
Yeah, they don't know where the circus is.
Right. They bump into the old lady, and she's like, "Oh, you riffraff. All these horrible people going to the Psychic Circus and stuff." And the Doctor's like, "I'm a doctor."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, you can call yourself anything you want." Yeah. And they, in order to try and win over her favor, so she'll show them, or at least point them the way to the Psychic Circus. They're eating something that looks like cream corn
Cream corn.
out of a
pineapple looking.
yeah, some weird fruit, and it's just disgusting. And they're like, "No, we have to eat it all. We're trying to get in her good graces, just to think we're reasonably decent people."
Diplomacy 101.
Yeah, diplomacy.
Eat their food.
While they're there, a biker shows up with this
Nord.
Which is, I believe,
Batman mask.
well, it's a bit more of a kind of Batman, but it's a bit more of Mad Max-ish.
Oh yeah, very Mad Max.
If I remember correctly, Nord is German or French or something for north.
Nordic.
Well, just north.
Yeah.
The word north. I can't remember. I think it's German.
Hmm.
But yeah, he's trying to look all Nordic and stuff, which is probably why I chose Nord. And the word Nordic probably comes from the German for north because it's north of Germany.
Oh.
Doing okay. I believe I'm right on that. Anyway, so He's like, ah, and Ace is like, ooh, cool bike. Oh, I think you've blown a gasket. No, I can help you with that. No, get away. And
get away. Before I do something horrible to your ears.
All right.
Very interesting insults. He has his own lunchbox where he's eating this weird meat sandwich.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it's like a lunchbox, but I think he cooked the hamburger or whatever in there because it was right next to the engine. Yeah. So I think he cooked his hamburger in there. So he opens his lunchbox. This is a weird scene. He picks it up and he bites into it. It looks like, to me, a hamburger made of licorice.
Oh, yeah.
Red and black licorice pieces.
It's kind of half-cooked looking.
Yeah. But it looks like it's a hamburger made of red. And we could probably tell on that TV, you know, with the Blu-ray and the big screen. You could probably tell it looks like a hamburger made of red and black licorice pieces. Like Wallabies or something.
Gross. What's Wallabies?
Oh, Wiley Wallabies is an Australian company that makes bits of licorice that are about this long and about that wide that are really good, and they make them in red and black. So I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway, he's the tough guy, yada yada yada. So he takes off, goes down the road once he gets his bike together.
No one rides with Nord.
Yeah, the doctor and Ace ask for rides. Like, no one rides with Nord. Nord rides alone. And he takes off. That actually wasn't that bad. And the doctor and Ace continue down the road, and they bump into Captain Cook.
Captain Cook, he's a world-renowned explorer.
Galactically renowned galactic explorer.
Galactic explorer. That's the one.
And he's wearing the whole thing that you would see on a British explorer.
Yeah.
Of course, with the khaki and the little pith helmet and all the clothes and everything. And oh my gosh, he's a windbag.
Likes to name drop.
Termagant.
Termagant.
That's the name for a female curmudgeon. A termagant.
A real termagant.
Mm-hmm. It basically means an overbearing, loud old hag, but it's a termagant.
Termagant.
Yeah. All right.
Word of the day.
All right. So he, the doctor and Ace stop, and they're doing a little excavation dig on this. Well, it looks like a robot. You know, the top half of a robot. It looks like the robot would be about 12 feet tall if it was standing erect.
Yeah.
Because when it pops up,
it's sitting up.
It's still 6 or something feet tall. What was her name?
Mags?
Mags, yeah. Mags is kind of doing the excavation stuff. She is a young lady, very lithe, and spiky black and green hair. Yeah. I don't generally like that look.
Punk rock.
But it works really well on her.
She
looked great in that. Nice hair.
Liked her costume, outfit, design.
Yeah, it was fishnet stockings, some tights, not super revealing except the legs, but legs. So the doctor is talking with Captain Cook, and Captain Cook keeps name dropping and event dropping. Yeah, just a horrible bore. He's just really bad. So he's talking about Mags as a specimen.
Specimen, yeah.
Yeah, Doc's like,
I don't know about specimen.
Yeah,
everyone's a specimen of something.
Which, to be fair, is absolute truth, you know. And Doc's like, I never think of Ace as a specimen.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the robot pops up, sits up.
Well, when you're real fit, they say that you're a real specimen, right?
A fitness, yeah. Okay. So the robot wakes up. They dug enough of it up. It wakes up. It grabs Mag's leg. The doctor runs over to try to help her, and he tries to jam his umbrella, trying to open it. And then the thing kind of starts shooting. Yeah, it's not doing great. Because it just woke up. So Ace grabs a shovel and hits it on the back of the head, and that knocks it out again.
Yeah.
Which is weird for a robot, but sure.
Works with my TV sometimes.
This is how we fix things on a Russian space station. You remember that?
Give it the old Fonz.
Armageddon?
Armageddon.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, it works. So she hits it with the shovel. It blacks out again. And then they get Mag's leg out.
Yep.
And then they're off again?
Yeah, okay, the Doctor and Ace are kind of talking about stuff, and Ace was like, man, I think Max would be great if she wasn't with Captain Cook, you know? Like, Captain Cook's such a windbag. And, the entire time that Mags is under peril, Captain Cook's just standing there drinking tea while the Doctor and Ace try to help. And this is when you go,
couldn't care less.
Yeah, this guy's not a good guy.
Antagonist.
Yep. Oh, companion. No, 4 episodes, man.
Oh, I didn't fix that.
Okay, grab the deal and fix it. Alright, 4 episodes. Alright, so you can tell the guy's a bad guy. Or at least not a good guy. He's just standing there watching when his companion is under fire or under peril from this robot. There we go. Alright. It aired 12/14/1988 to 1/4/1989, and that was the end of the season. Antagonist Captain Cook, Gods of Ragnarok. Hey, Psychic Circus. You forgot like everybody in the Psychic Circus.
All the deaths?
No. Under antagonists.
Oh,
the Psychic Circus should be there too.
Yeah.
In a minute, I'll go grab the pin and put Psychic Circus. But yeah, behind that was mainly the Gods of Ragnarok. But okay. Yeah, Psychic Circus. Especially that stinking Harlequin who seemed to enjoy all the deaths. Oof. Alright. So, they don't ask for a ride, or at least it's not shown that they ask for a ride with the captain. The captain leaves with Mags, and then the Doctor and Ace continue walking down the road. In the meantime, a Harry Potter boy shows up.
WizKid.
WizKid, WHIZZKID.
2 Z's.
Yeah. He looks like Harry Potter, except without the scar, like a lot like him. He shows up, and he's riding a bicycle, unlike the motorcycle that Nord was riding.
Yeah.
And
what was your name for curmudgeon?
Termagant.
Termagant. The Termagant thinks that he's a local.
Oh yeah, because what a nice boy. Yeah, not like the off-world riffraff that they're all going to the Psychic Circus, you know.
He's like, oh yeah, where is that? By the way.
And she's like,
Another one.
So all of our characters are introduced. Okay. So the Doctor. Okay, so Nord gets to the Psychic Circus. They bring in Bellboy. And then Cook and his companion get to the circus.
Yeah. And
then not too far behind them, the Doctor and Ace get to the circus.
They find the bus first with the ticket gun and the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, before Cook and Mags take off, while they're with the Doctor, although I don't... They should have shown a little more in this episode.
Yeah.
Because there's a great spot for an ending in this episode, which if they'd shown a little more of what was going on, would have ended there, and not with the weird ending we talked about earlier.
It could have.
But it would have ended with the ticket guy.
Yeah.
The conductor. But they seem to skip over bits, which is so funny, because I don't know if they were trying to avoid the violent endings and the violence on screen, because so much of it was off screen.
It really seems like, they were.
Yeah. But they had to pad out the last episode so much that they could have easily have shifted some things back, and it would have flowed a lot better. Yeah. So before everybody gets to the circus, the Doctor, Ace, Captain Cook, and Mags find the bus where the young
Flower Child
died. And so we've already seen that there's something there that's menacing. The doctor talks about the great evil. Something evil happened here. And they go on the bus because Ace is all about, let's go exploring.
He senses a disturbance in the force or something.
Yeah, he's trusting his gut instinct.
Ah.
They get on the bus and the conductor shows up. And the conductor's like, ticket please.
Robot.
Ticket please. Yeah, it's a good 7-foot tall robot. Ticket please. And the doctor's like, no, 6 foot. And the doctor's like, oh, first he goes up to Captain Cook. Captain Cook's like, oh, no. He's
getting the
he's paying for the tickets.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah, puts the doctor in the crosshairs.
Yeah.
And then the doctor's like, okay, I will have an off-season, bi-weekly, senior citizen discounted with a coffee in a cup and a buffalo sandwich, and there's a couple other things. Ticket. And just like the second Doctor did way back in, what was that? The one where he destroyed the computer down in the lobby by feeding it a problematic loop.
Logic.
Yeah. The Doctor doesn't like machines, but just like he did back then, he destroys basically this one just by feeding it something that was so outrageous it couldn't compute it.
He's processing, and he's like, well, while you're processing that order, can I see your ticket gun?
Yeah.
And then he zaps him with his own ticket gun.
Yeah.
He could zap him before. Ace pushes the gas pedal, you hear it click, but they're out of there. They don't want to stick around this bus with the crazy robot.
And nobody's looking at that click. It's gas pedal or the clutch, I thought, or whatever. I thought it was the clutch. Wow. So then for some weird reason they part ways with Cook and Mags, and we don't see it.
Yeah.
Alright, so then Nord gets to the circus. Cook and Mags get to the circus. The Doctor and Ace finally get to the circus. Mags and Cook go in. They're ahead of the Doctor and Ace by, I don't know, half a mile or so. Because Doctor and Ace are walking and they've got a Jeep. And they get in and they're invited into the circus while they're about to torture Bellboy for trying to escape.
Yeah.
So, Morgana is this great psychic Russian gypsy lady who is selling the tickets. That's her whole shtick. She talks normal English accent most of the time, and then when somebody shows up, she turns into the Russian. And she kicks in that accent.
Like to see your fortune.
Yeah, she kicks in that accent as part of the act. It's great. She does a great job of it. And she looks the part too, you know?
Yeah, very much so.
So, Captain Cook and Mags go in. And she's like, oh, you can't go in. They are practicing, rehearsing a special act. She doesn't want them to see the torture. But then the Harlequin invites them in. They go in, and Mags starts screaming. She starts screaming, and she's screaming.
And the conductor has a mute switch for her?
Yeah, he's got a remote control that mutes her, which I thought was cool technology. And she's just screaming. And that's right about as the Doctor and Ace show up. And Ace is like, don't you hear that screaming? Just like,
nope.
No. What's screaming? And they get closer, and she's like, do you hear it now? She's like, no. In the meantime, right off the screen inside the big ring, they're torturing Bellboy.
Yeah.
Some sort of electric torture, I guess. It's light based.
Yeah. So we have the Doctor, and he's still very stubborn and kind of, are we going in or not? And Ace is on the fence.
He's like, I still find them creepy, and the Harlequin peeks out, and she's like, he's creepy.
Yeah.
And
end of episode 1.
Yeah, right there. The Doctor literally looks at her and goes, are we going in or not? And no direct there's an indirect threat, but no direct threat for the Doctor and Ace, which is weird. All right, episode 2. Repeat the last little bit, the little bit of reprise.
Scream you, creepy clowns.
Yep. So then the Doctor and Ace go into the ticket area, and the Doctor's kind of looking around at all the posters for the Psychic Carnival, because they have posters there of the different tours they did. Yeah. And Morgana sees Ace and the Doctor, and she tries to warn them to go away. But then right as she's about to, she's being good, you know? She's trying to do the right thing. She's trying to resist the evil and help save people in as much as she can. The people she likes, anyway. That comes in a little bit. Anyway, so
WizKid's still on his way in his little bicycle.
Yeah. But we've met almost the entire cast of characters. So Doctor's like, and then Harley was like, come on in. And so they go in. She has expressed reservations or will here soon with the ringleader.
Yeah.
But she knows Harley Quinn kind of likes it and is a bit sadistic, and she doesn't want him overhearing any of that. Mm-hmm. So the Doctor and Ace go on in.
More 80s style rap.
Not yet. It's all dark.
Oh, yeah.
It's completely dark. The Doctor and Ace find seats in the dark, and she's like, where's the crowd? Didn't we hear a crowd? And the Doctor's like, well, maybe we're between performances, which actually was correct. Then the lights come on, and the Doctor had found 3 people, which I think they showed in the first episode. Yeah, I think they showed in the first episode briefly. But now's the first time you get to, and they show them, and there's this very English father, this very English mother, and this very English little girl.
Daddy, I wanted ice cream.
We already had one.
Shut up.
Yeah, shut up and eat your popcorn.
Yeah.
And they're just literally taking bits of popcorn and bits of chips and moving it to their mouths very methodically. And the mother's like, have a chip, Dad. And he's like... but it's
very creepy, yeah.
Very creepy, very methodical, very much by mechanical movements.
Robotic.
Yeah. So, let's see. So the ringleader comes in, does his little bit of sing-song / rap, whatever you want to call it. It's not quite either. It's just sort of speaking in rhyme. Mm-hmm. And he says, "Hey, the Doctor." And how the heck does he know his name? But
must have the ticket person told Harley Quinn.
Maybe. But the Doctor was practicing earlier the juggling, and he actually wants to try out for the Psychic Circus's talent show. Yeah. Which apparently used to be a big thing, and now it's a bad thing.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so Ace is like, don't go, Doctor. Don't go. And he's like, I gotta go. And the ringleader's, yep, it's your choice. So the Doctor goes down into the ring, and the robot clowns are throwing the pins past his head. And the ringleader's like, yeah, you're gonna come on back and do that? It's your choice. And Ace is like, no. And then Ace gets surrounded by some of those robot clowns.
Yeah.
And then there's Harlequin. Aha. And earlier she had picked up the other earring that Flower Child had that fell to the ground when she was killed. And she put on her jacket.
Finders keepers.
Yeah, if the keeper's not here, the finder gets it. That's how the Doctor puts it. And Harlequin, like I said, not Harley Quinn. This is a Harlequin.
Harlequin.
Yeah, he looks at her. If she looks at him and goes, are you a robot too? He says, no. She's like, pity. Yeah. And he goes, where did you get that?
Where'd you get that necklace?
Oh, the earring.
Earring.
Yeah, because it is part of, it was definitely Flower Child's. And she's like, I don't remember, something like that. Anyway, The doctor goes in
backstage
to get prepared for his act.
Ace is ushered in with him.
No, she makes a run for it.
Oh yeah.
She manages to elbow somebody, probably Harlequin, and she escapes, and then she runs around inside the oh no, she hides behind the kites.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Harlequin and some of the guys come out. We're looking for the girl. The girl escaped, and I don't like this pair. She had one of Flower Child's earrings, yada yada yada, and Ace accidentally sets off one of the kites.
Yeah.
Yeah, which apparently have alarms on them.
Woo.
Right.
Like a car alarm, a kite alarm.
Well, I think it's to alert the people when they found what they're looking for.
Oh, they're flying around.
Yeah. So she then she manages to escape from them again, and she runs into one of the hallways. All the hallways are interesting because they have it's basically like a giant blanket fort. So you've got blankets, willowy,
big tinted hallways.
Yeah, like this could be theoretically in a tent somewhere, but it's a real cheap way to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that they did something, like I said at the beginning, with very little money.
Mm-hmm.
She takes the earring, she cuts her way through one of the blankets, dives in, closes it, and they all run past looking for her.
Yeah.
In the meantime, the doctor is escorted. Yep, to the waiting room, which turns out to be a cage, and he fell into a trap.
Yeah.
And there's Nord, Mags, and Captain Cook.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we meet Deadbeat.
Oh yeah,
right?
The mindless Deadbeat.
Yeah.
Kingpin. He's sweeping up, and kind of muttering to himself.
Apparently,
his mind's lost, as Captain Cook puts it.
Yeah, his mind was broken. But apparently, before his mind was broken, he was also part of the circus. And I think he was the singer, the entertainer, because he keeps singing out stuff occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
And Captain Cook is being incredibly obtuse and incredibly obfuscatory. He keeps hinting at things, but not telling them what they mean.
Mm-hmm.
He tricks Nord into going out into the ring next, because he has in his hands. He goes heads or tails, and he has in one hand a double-sided head coin, and the other hand a double-sided tail coin. So no matter what Nord says, he puts the one here. It's heads. This is the heads one. Oh, tails. He said this is the tails one. So he's going to win either way.
Mm-hmm.
And he tricks Nord into going out and doing an act. And Nord goes out, and the only people in the audience now are those three people, the mother, the father, and the child, and they're still as creepy as ever.
Oh, yeah.
They stay creepy throughout the entire serial. And apparently the whole thing is to entertain them. You entertain them, you live. You don't entertain them, you die.
Mm-hmm.
But as it is, we never see anyone make it back out of the ring because they entertained him well enough.
Yeah.
So he goes out and he's the strongest, and he does a strongman act and picks up a really heavy weight.
Mm.
And they all hold up things that say 9, you know?
Yeah.
And then I think the ring man had it out for Nord, because he says, okay, now Nord's going to go for broke, and he's going to amuse you all with a joke. And poor Nord was not expecting this, and apparently didn't have any jokes on the tip of his mind.
Who does?
Yeah.
Knock out.
Who's there?
Adam.
Alright. What happens when a frog parks in the wrong place?
He gets towed.
Horrible, eh? Alright. What's the sound of a drum set and cymbals falling off a cliff? So, Nord kind of tries to go into a joke. You know, he says, well, on the way here, you know, yada yada, and the family each hold up a 0. And they only ever hold up 9s or 0s, so I'm guessing it was only 2-sided. They hold up 0, and then you hear, and Paul Stufft Nord is a little bit of
His lion's robe.
robe he was wearing. Yeah.
Strongman's lion's robe.
So
He gets vaporized.
right. So you understand now at this point that you entertain him, you live. You don't entertain. As soon as you stop entertaining him, you die.
Yeah. And Captain Cook's got this figured out already, and he's sort of playing the system,
Yeah.
survival of the fittest, sending other people in before him, trying to.
Yeah, he has zero compunctions about having others killed that he may live.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. And Doctor's like, okay. So the Doctor and Mags devise a plan to try to escape. They don't show it, them devising the plan.
No.
It just shows a smidgen of practice with the juggling pins. Because some of the juggling pins were brought to the Doctor, and
To practice.
he's like, what am I supposed to do with these? Then Captain Cook's like, I suspect you're supposed to practice it, my old boy. Old boy.
Old boy.
It calls everybody old boy and old girl, which is an old English tradition, actually.
Great Gatsby kind of thing.
Long before that, but remember when Sarah Jane Smith was called Old Girl by Harry Sullivan?
Yeah. And
She's like, stop calling me old girl. It's like, okay, Sarah. Sarah Jane. No, but that's an old British, especially English tradition, for some whatever reason. I guess it was a compliment because you lived that long.
Oh.
But modern women don't want to be called old.
No.
Anyway, it's all the youth and the beauty thing. So eventually we come back to Ace.
Yeah. She's sneaking around.
She's sneaking around. She finds Bellboy.
Bellboy, he's tied up.
Yep. She unties him. They have a brief conversation. Oh man.
Not a very coherent one.
No.
This is happening while they're devising the plan to escape
Yeah.
Mags and the Doctor.
Yeah. So, is it blinking again? What? I erased that other deal. Is it the battery? Hold on.
Is it the battery?
Did I not plug it in? It's the battery. Okay.
Intermission.
Well, what else? You still need to make that little intermission bit. All right. We're going to be right back with a new battery. Oh wow. Oh no, it needs to be. Move it this way. There you go. A little more. Okay, I think you got all the doctors in there. Alright. See? Alright, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Sorry about that. Apparently I did plug the battery in last time. So, we've got a new battery, fresh one now. Alright, anyway. Got a fresh drink. So, weird conversation between Ace and Bellboy.
Even a blind squirrel.
Yeah.
That's right, twice a day.
There you go. Ace gets caught again, thanks to the help of Deadbeat.
Yeah, no good deadbeat.
Well, you don't think he's good at this point, but he's just impaired.
Yeah. It's out of it.
She gets caught again. In the meantime, Doctor, and classic jail thing. You make an argument, and the guards come in, and you knock them out.
Yeah.
So a couple of robots come.
I'm next. No, I'm next.
Yeah, Mags and the Doctor are fighting as to who's next, supposedly. And then they use
with the juggling pins.
Yeah, boom, boom. They run out. They run away. They go through a bunch of the hallways.
Captain Cook, are you coming? He goes, no, I'm going to wait this one out.
Bye, Mags. The Doctor and Mags run through places. They eventually get to what looks like an ancient I wouldn't say ruin, but I would say more like a temple.
Yeah.
And there's
Cave.
Cave temple thing. Yeah, lots of those in places like China and stuff. Tibet and things. And then there's these carvings. Oh, and the doctor earlier noticed carvings on the stones that made up part of the big ring.
Mm-hmm.
You have pieces of wood between the stones, but the stones all had these interesting carvings on them.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor...
Mags reacts strangely to the moon.
The crescent moon. I was like, what? She's like, why do you fear that? Don't ask me why. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
They go in, and they run in, and they keep running down this hallway, this cave, and they get to a point where there's a big drop-off. Yeah.
I think it's a well, and let's find out. And he throws one of the juggling pins down.
Mm-hmm. The last one he has.
Then reveals an eye socket at the bottom.
Yeah, there's an eye, and the eye's looking at him like, like the eye of Sauron or whatever. But
yeah, something to do with the...
But it's not the slit eye, it's an actual proper eye.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't know what it is, but I think whatever's down there is this answer to all this. In the meantime, the Harlequin throws Ace. He says, "You're afraid of clowns?" And he throws her into this room of these broken down robot clowns.
Yeah. Maybe being in here will loosen you up.
Yeah.
Make you talk.
Yeah,
You'll tell me what I want to know.
So,
even though she doesn't know anything about Flower Child in reality.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that.
Literally found
the earring. So he puts her in there, and she's like, "I'm not afraid of clowns. I'm not afraid of clowns." And then the clowns start activating the robot clowns, and they start coming at her, and she kind of backs into a corner.
She takes one by the hand. The arm comes off.
Yeah, well, not yet.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she gets backed into a corner, and this is normally where the episode would end, with somebody directly in peril. Right. But in the meantime, the Doctor and Mags, they're kind of looking down the well, and Captain Hook goes, ahem, like barely as little as a ahem you can do.
Ahem.
And they turn around, and he's like, "You're wanted next in the ring." And he's got like 5 robot clowns behind him, and that's where it cuts. Once again, not at the direct peril, but at the indirect peril, which is weird.
So all this jumping around is, how does Captain Cook go from being a prisoner to leading the robot clowns?
All right, once again, this is something that should have been shown normally, but wasn't. Mm-hmm. They really should have pushed back the to the conductor in episode 1. They should have pushed back, had more explanation in episode 2 as well. Like explanation in episode 1 is why, how did they get to the bus? Why did they stop?
Why'd they split up?
Why'd they split up? There's lots of things they could explain, right? In episode 2, there's stuff like, why did the Harlequin trust Captain Cook and send robot clowns with him? And where's the talk about the negotiations for that?
Yeah.
And, these would have pushed things to the proper places and had the normal endings. I think it's just a really interesting and odd editing choice. Mm-hmm. And if you do this, you don't have to pad out that 4th episode. Yeah. Although, to be fair, with the traditional ending on the 4th episode, you've got to place a Doctor or Ace in direct peril. Mm-hmm. And until Mag showed up into the werewolf thing, there wasn't any direct peril, but they cut that before there was.
Yeah. So
it's all kind of weird choices on what to leave in and what to take out. Mm-hmm. Still, I really like the serial. Yeah. Right. So episode 3, of course, a little bit of recap, and they start taking the Doctor back. Then they show Ace. And Ace is cornered by these 2 androids. She grabs one of them's arm, rips it out. She's about to beat them with the arm, and they go all wonky. like this, and then they just fall inert.
My notes for this was just robot nonsense. And then she finds Bellboy. So I guess it's Bellboy that turned him off?
No, he was sleeping, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she pushes one down. I think the pulling out of the arm short-circuited one and somehow short-circuited the other. Whatever. Doctor Who. She pushes one down to make sure that they are completely inert. And then Bellboy wakes up, who was in there the whole time sleeping, because I guess you gotta sleep at some point. And they have a really weird conversation. Like, really weird. He's talking about, all the people who... He explains what happened and why the Psychic Circus came here, and...
he's having memory problems.
Oh yeah, lots of memory issues. And he's like, they killed the Flower Child, and they turned everything we ever did against us and to garbage. I made these robots and they turned them to garbage, and my greatest creation, there's a little miniature version of it on the thing, turned it to garbage. And he gives Ace the remote control for it. He says, it controls this one and it controls the real one.
Yeah.
But once again, they turn it to garbage.
Careful, that's the laser eye button.
Yeah, here's the laser. Yeah, careful of this.
Right.
This will come in handy later. He doesn't say that, but that's the implication. And of course, we saw the big one out in the field. And then he's like, okay. And they even turned... Yeah.
They the ones that ran the circus?
Yeah. But they even turned Flower Child's kites against her, etc., etc., etc. And he goes down this long litany. Like I said, a little bit of padding here, but it does give the backstory. This is the exposition. And he says, and they run the circus. And she's like, who's they? Well, yada, yada, yada. And he mentions several characters that we've never seen that are now dead. Because apparently, according to the Harlequin, they couldn't handle it, And he goes...
They weren't entertaining enough, or they tried to run away?
Well, they probably broke under the strain, like Bellboy and Flower Child, Yeah. And he goes, well... And then there's them, or they. And she's like, who are they? And he's like, I don't quite know. In the meantime...
What happened to his memory?
Okay, that torture probably burnt some of it out of him. And I think that may have also happened to Deadbeat, because
He got tortured?
No. Well, some of that probably happened to Deadbeat, just out of presumption. But no, he lost his mind when he fought against them with the eye, yeah. But we'll get to that. Anyway, so in the meantime, the Doctor is being led away to go back to the ring by the robots. Mags gets back to the front of the temple with a crescent moon, and she starts going full werewolf. Yeah, rah! And when she goes that way, she has a really hard time controlling herself, and she starts attacking the robots. And in all of the ruckus, the Doctor manages to run away.
Splits. Makes a run for it.
Let's see.
Back in the shack, Bellboy meets up with Harlequin after he lets...
Not quite yet. The Doctor runs into Deadbeat. No, he actually follows Deadbeat. Oh, the Doctor manages to get to the ticking office, where he sees the crystal ball. And the crystal ball is now acting like an Ulthanc from Lord of the Rings. Alright, you remember... No, the Palantir. You remember the Palantirs?
No.
You remember Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It was a crystal ball that Saruman had in his tower. When they pulled off, you saw the eye of Sauron.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. And then later on, it gets touched by Peregrine, I think. All right. Much later on. So anyway, the Palantir not only allows you to see things, but allows them to see back at you. It's a two-way communication device, and you can talk through it and read minds through it. So it's the same thing here. Later on, we see Morgana talking to them through it, and they're obviously reading her mind as well. It basically becomes a Palantir. So the Doctor is trying to make his way out. Deadbeat's coming. He hides down in the ticket booth, and Deadbeat sees the crystal ball there, and apparently it's talking at him and controlling his mind, and he runs away, and the Doctor follows him. In one of the hallways, the Doctor's like, "You weren't always this way, were you, Deadbeat? Something happened to you. But do you know what's going on? Can you show me?" He says, and Debbie's just kind of standing there stupefied, and the Doctor goes, "Well, I know one thing, you're not going to turn me in, are you?" And Debbie shakes his head, no. Kind of a Flowers for Algernon moment, you know? And then finally the Debbie goes, follow. And he leads away the Doctor. The Doctor follows him, and just when you think the robots are trying to break down the door to get Bellboy, it turns out it's Deadbeat opening the door, and the Doctor's there with him, and the Doctor's reunited with Ace. It's like, yay! And Bellboy's like, he had a different name. He led us here because he knew of something, and we came here because of that. And finally he remembers the guy's name is Kingpin, or his name was Kingpin. Yeah. So he's Kingpin. You're Kingpin. Eventually, Kingpin or Deadbeat starts singing. And Ace is like, well, he's completely off his rocker. The Doctor's like, no, listen. She's like, to what? He goes, the answers. And he's singing things about the well and the eye and all that stuff. And these are answers to the Doctor's questions. And he goes, Kingpin, can you lead me there? Can you lead me to this? And Kingpin's like, yeah. He goes, okay, we'll do this.
Bellboy decides to stay behind to distract the Harlequin guy. And he meets his end by the robots, just like Flower Child.
Well, here's the thing. Bellboy is like, I've lost everything I've loved. Ever. They've turned us all against each other, and they've made us everything we've ever done and worked for bad. And Ace knows. The Doctor goes, okay, Ace, Kingpin, come with me. And she's like, come on, Bellboy. And he's like, no, I'll buy you some time. And the Harlequin comes in and he goes, where are they? And he goes, I don't know. I don't care. And Bellboy gets up and commands his robots with the remote to attack and kill him. And the Harlequin was just like, momentarily aghast. And then he just, because I think he obviously was sadistic and loved the death, which he does to the whole thing. In the meantime, the kid has shown up.
Who's Kid?
Whiz Kid. I think that was actually episode 2.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. I think he shows up at, no. It may be episode 3.
I think.
Yeah, he shows up in episode 3. Bugs Morgana so much about his praise that she just waves him in. She doesn't even try to help save him. He's so annoying.
Go on it.
Yeah, because they took Mags and the captain back. It's like, where's the Doctor? He gave us a slip. What? He gave us the slip. So the Whiz Kid shows up and another little rap thing, and hey, this kid. And the Whiz Kid goes back. the ringmaster told Captain Cook, "You're next."
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Well, why don't you take Mags out?" "No, I have a better idea. You."
Yeah.
But he tricks WizKid into going out there. And WizKid has no idea what's going on.
Forgo my performance so that you can have the chance.
Can experience it first.
Yeah.
And this is like a...
He doesn't think it's strange at all. They're all in a cage.
And this is a 14, maybe 15-year-old kid.
Yeah, poor kid.
Yeah. And he's not told ahead of time he's prepare an act. He's not given an indication of what's going on. He just goes out there. This is when you absolutely know that Captain Cook is a horrible human being.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes out there and he gets burnt to a crisp. And
he's like, "Oh, I love the circus."
yeah,
they all hold up their zeros.
And the ringmaster picks up his burnt, broken glasses out of the ashes. That's what's left of them.
Yeah, that gets an applause.
Yeah. Oh, the death is what gets the applause. It's just sick. Although we saw something not too far off in Vengeance of Varos, when they were waiting to see if the Prime Minister died or not.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Oh, he definitely can't handle it now. You know, something sick like that.
Pretty dark stuff.
And it's once again back to the family of three up in the top row of the stands. All right, so the doctor says, "All right, you two," talking to Ace and Kingpin / Deadbeat, "you guys go out, get the little eyepiece that goes in the center of the pendant that Deadbeat / Kingpin has, so we can constitute it."
They found out about that through song.
Yeah, through the song. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, get the eye. You guys have to go back to the bus, do this, and I will stall them. And I'm like, "How are you gonna do that?" He's like, "They need acts. I'll be an act.
I'll entertain."
Yep, I'll entertain. So the doctor literally walks up to one of the robots and says, "Hi, I think you're looking for me."
I am expected backstage.
Which the fourth doctor did several times.
Yeah.
It just popped in. "Hi, I think you're expecting me." It's like, the doctor's not going to just walk in and show up here. "Hello."
Hello.
I think this doctor's done it once before. Yeah.
During the Silver Nemesis.
Yes, when he pops. The doctor's almost going to just walk up with the bow and it's just, "Hi, how you doing? I think you're expecting me." Yeah. So the doctor goes in. He says, "All right, guys, we three need to team up."
All three of us go in at the same time, and I'll throw a hammer in the gears.
Exactly. That's exactly what he says. Here we'd say spanner, but then I guess they say hammer. We usually say a spanner in the works, but yeah. He goes, "Okay, three of us team up. We go in. We're good." And Cook is like, "I don't know." Max is like, "Yes, you do. This is good." He's like, "Okay." They go in as a trio, and then Cook stands back and goes, "Well, here's interesting. The ringleader says he always sings the greatest show in the galaxy, but when there's three of them, he says it three times. The greatest show in the galaxy, the galaxy, the galaxy."
Yeah.
I was like, "That's interesting."
I noticed that.
There's a little bit of a Sheldon twerk there, you know?
Yeah. Knock, 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 penny.
Knock, penny. Yeah, it's something like that. If there's three people, you have to say it three times. It's interesting.
One for each. So then the Captain Cook requests special stage lighting from
the management,
which
the
is
ringleader.
Moonlight.
Yeah, the old blood moon or something, and Mags, which is leaned on before in the episode, starts turning into a werewolf.
Arr.
And then
end of episode 3.
Right. Well, there's a few moments of her obviously turning into a werewolf.
Yeah.
And Cook going, "You're an idiot, Doctor. I said she was a rare specimen."
There's a specimen. There's
yeah.
moonlight reaction.
Yeah, you should have realized this. And the Doctor's like,
"She's a werewolf."
And episode 3 ends with the Doctor looking at her transforming. Now, special effects are nowhere as good as American Werewolf in London or anything. It's just, cut to her. She's a little more werewolf. Cut to her. She's a little more werewolf.
And she turns away.
And it's not like super werewolf. It's just her nails, her hair, and the fangs and the eyes.
Turns green.
And it was the three doctors like,
yeah.
Cut. All right. Episode 4.
This is a werewolf.
Yeah, she's a werewolf. Cook kind of sicks Mags on the doctor. The doctor's running around like crazy. He climbs up one of the lighting apparatuses. Apparati? Anyway, he grabs a rope. He swings over to the second balcony. Gets chased over there by her. Tries to get her off of him. Swings again. Finally lands in front of the family. And then their eyes go green. And they kind of push him down to the bottom.
Falls down the bleachers.
Yeah. And lands back in the ring. And then Mags comes at him. He's like, Mags, you have me at your mercy. You don't have to kill. You don't have to kill. And
you can control this.
You can control this. In the meantime, Cook's been given the whip, not directly on her, but just cracking it. And finally, she looks at the doctor and hears his words, and she turns around and goes after Cook.
Turns on Cook.
Yeah. And she literally turns on and kills Cook off screen again.
Off screen again.
And the doctor races out of there.
Yeah.
All right.
We have...
In the meantime, back to Ace and Kingpin.
Deadbeat.
Yeah. They finally have made it to the bus.
The hippie wagon with the conductor. The conductor's been repaired by Bellboy.
The conductor was repaired by Bellboy. So she goes in, hits the same clutch. The little thing pops out. She grabs it and goes, hey.
Lunchbox.
And Kingpin is still in his compromised state. He's like, kind of looking up at the thing. And it grabs Ace's head, starts pulling her up. She's like, ah.
While it does that, it steps on the lunchbox, breaking it open.
Right.
Which kind of snaps Deadbeat back into being Kingpin.
Well, no,
sees the eye.
He's still Deadbeat, and he kind of looks down and he looks at it, and she's like, help me. And finally he reaches over and he grabs the eye, and he puts it on the pendant where it's supposed to go. And that snaps him back into Kingpin.
Why?
Because apparently the pendant, which has an insane amount of power for some weird reason, it's never explained. None of this is ever explained. That's the problem with like a lot of serials during this Doctor's run. They have to be so short that a lot of stuff is never explained. Like Ghostlight, stuff like that. Okay, so
it doesn't make sense.
It kind of makes sense, and you could argue that they are not insulting the audience's intelligence by having to explain everything, which is a fair argument. But anyway, he puts the eye back on. He gets his memory back. He's Kingpin again, and he's fully cognizant. And she's still yelling. And he goes, on the head. There's a button on the head. She's like, what? And this thing's still trying to crush her head. And he goes, knock the cap off. And she knocks the cap off.
There's this big red self-destruct button right on his noggin.
It says please stop or whatever. He goes, hit the stop button. And she just manages to reach it and hit it. And then it lets her go. And she runs away.
She drops the remote control.
She runs.
The bellboy gives her.
Right, and he's like, get away. And she realizes she drops it, goes back and grabs
Indiana Jones hat grab.
Yeah.
And grabs it. And then the conductor explodes.
Right, when she's barely out of range because she had to go back and get the remote.
It's kind of our cliffhanger for that scene.
Yeah. And
we're not sure if she got away from the explosion or not. and it cuts way back to the doctor.
For a millisecond. And
Yeah.
So the doctor managed to get away, and he's with Mags. He and Mags managed to get away.
I thought he stayed to perform.
No, he did that, and then after Mags killed the captain,
Yeah. What happens then?
well, yeah, he and Mags get away.
He and Mags gets away?
Well, he gets away, and then Mags gets away, and they meet
Okay.
up. So, then the family starts speaking, even the little girl, in this dark voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like,
The circus illusions kind of disappearing.
right, you have, because they were there watching, you got the ringleader, you have, not Margaret, what's her name? Morgana, and you have the Harlequin,
Yeah.
and they're all standing there, and that family's like,
You're the next
we
day.
want more,
More.
we need more. The Harlequin makes his escape. He kind of slinks out,
Mhm.
and he grabs some of the robots. Oh,
The rest of the robots.
and the family's like, well, the remake leader's like, we'll have another act on, and the family's like, there is no one left. You have no one left to give up but yourselves. And the robots converge on them with these baskets, and then they shove them in the baskets close, and when they open the baskets again, there's just the dust and
They're
an article of
vaporized.
clothing. Yeah, they're vaporized inside the baskets. I thought it would have been more interesting if they had
9 out of 9.
done the swords to the baskets.
Oh.
Yeah,
Sword
yeah,
trick.
you've seen those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it would have been more interesting, but I don't know if they could have kept that in.
Yeah.
So they die. All we have left at this point is the Harlequin, Kingpin, the Doctor, Ace, Mags, and the family of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the Doctor tells Mags, run. I have to go entertain them to stall for time. You run and go get Ace and Kingpin, and I need that pendant.
Yeah.
So this is episode 4, and this is where things have been weird. This is where they get weirder. This is that proverbial turn left that's like, what the hell?
Illusions falling apart. The
Correct.
circus.
And the Doctor looks into the Palantir, to the crystal ball, and he goes, make a pathway for me. I'm coming. And then he goes to this weird little odd special effect that goes on for about 30 seconds.
30 seconds too long.
Yeah, and then he breaks through, and he's standing in another time and another place, which is connected to the time and place of the circus.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice it has the same stones down at the bottom,
Yeah.
but it's a gladiatorial arena, and you have these 3 stonish figures with these really big helmets
Yeah.
up there in the stands in the exact same proportion where the family was.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the same sizes.
The
Little
gods
short
of
one in the middle.
Ragnarok.
Yeah. And he says, you are the gods of Ragnarok. And you've been killing people here for your own amusement forever. And essentially, what happens is, alright, the Doctor spends about 10 minutes of this episode to 15 minutes of this episode performing tricks and illusions for the gods of Ragnarok.
Disappearing eggs, sleight of hand, the rope trick,
Getting out of a
straight
jacket, yeah. the fire thing that became the snake with the rope.
Oh yeah,
That's an interesting one. Turning the rope into a snake, then turning the snake into the umbrella for when they want to soak him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, a good chunk of this episode is him stalling for time by entertaining them. And if he doesn't entertain them, he dies. But he's back in their world, in their realm, because it's hard for them to maintain the stuff between the two places. And he's just like, been fighting the gods of Ragnarok all my life, which has never been mentioned again. It was never mentioned before.
So we never see the gods of Ragnarok again?
No. The closest we've gotten to them were the Eternals in the one with the ships.
Oh, yeah.
That's close as we've gotten to these guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Doctor's now fighting not only Guardians, but Eternals and gods, you know?
Yeah.
So, when the Doctor's like, I've been fighting you all my life, and they're like, yeah, but you're in our realm now. And in the meantime,
Mags, Kingpin, and Ace
all catch up together. Mags is being chased in a car. Well, she's not in a car. She's being chased by Harlequin and some of the robots who are in a car chasing her. And the old lady provides a little... Termagant provides a little bit of cover for her as she runs across the cart. Mm-hmm. And then Harlequin gets stopped because she's taking up the whole road because she's turning around. She's like, you don't own this planet. You don't own this planet. Anyway, so they get caught up.
Of course.
Ace has an idea. When they all meet up and she says, well, I'm being followed. Ace has an idea and they all run towards the campsite from episode 1 with the big robot. Mm-hmm. Ace, Kingpin, and Mags hide behind the robot, and Harlequin shows up and he goes, oh, the place of Bellboy's greatest failure. What a wonderful place to decide for this, you know? And he's got the 4 clown robots with him, and Ace is pushing the button on the remote trying to get the robot to fire, the one that she was told, the laser eyeball. She's like, ah! And then she finally gets it to work. The robot fires, and this time it's accurate because it was told to do it, I guess, or it was awake long enough, I guess. But boom, 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 gets all the robots, and Harlequin's like, just looks at it, and it gets Harlequin right in the face. Right, yeah. Like one of the few on-screen deaths we have.
Which I think is about 15 total deaths.
Okay. So the Doctor's still stalling for time, doing weird clowny tricks, which, like I said, he was a child's entertainer before he became the Doctor.
It zooms in ominously on Cook's corpse, Captain Cook's corpse.
Yes, which is, for some strange reason, in the ticket booth area.
Yeah.
Alright,
so... carried him out.
Alright, so Harlequin was nice enough to bring the car. They get in the car, they head back. And the Doctor keeps stalling for time. And they go in, and Kingpin's like, you realize we're going to do whatever they have to stop us. And they know we're here because they can feel this. And Mags and Ace are like, sure, yeah, we know. So then you see Cook's body kind of get up.
Yeah.
And he's undead, but he's being controlled, obviously, to do their bidding by the gods of Ragnarok. Lots of banter between the Doctor and the gods of Ragnarok. Like I said, very padded out episode. Finally, the whole idea is to throw that into the well with the eyeball, kind of like the ring into
very much
Mount
like
Doom.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. So they they finally get there, and Captain Cook is behind them, and
him.
He's just about. Kingpin is just about to drop it in, but he's like, because the eye on the thing with what happened to him last time. And then Captain Cook hits the back of his calf, knocks him down, and he says, "Oh, take that, my boy."
Grabs it.
Right, and he starts walking away, and then Ace says something weird, like, hey fish face or something odd. And Mags kicks the amulet out of his hand and into the well. Mm-hmm. And the doctor had created a sword out of a piece of metal from a gladiator.
For my next act.
Yeah, for my final thing.
Turns it into a sword.
He tips it down, and somehow, this is never explained again, he knew that the amulet was going to be right there at that exact moment. Yeah. He tips it down, he picks it up, and they start shooting at him with their laser things. Yeah. And he just uses the mirror portion of the amulet to beam it back at him. And cut back to Captain Hook going, I once saw a man who was dead but walking in whatever place. And, I always wondered what it would feel like. And I can definitely say it's overrated as he walks into the well to re-kill himself. Kingpin, Mags, Ace just start running out of the place, just trying to get the hell out of there.
Things collapse and
right. The doctor,
lots of big pilly plumes of smoke.
Yep. The doctor's
upset.
The doctor keeps shooting the little deals back at the gods of Ragnarok. Apparently, they're susceptible to their own laser weapons. The whole place starts breaking down into giant styrofoam blocks. The gods of Ragnarok fall forward or fall down, and the doctor runs out, and in a really cool shot, he calmly walks out of the front of the circus tent, and he's walking, and then there's a giant explosion behind him, and he doesn't flinch at all. So he did it really well, but that whole explosion behind, but I'm too cool to care, and he does that great. Credits and kudos to him, and then he meets up with everybody, and Kingpin's like, "Hey, I've got an idea for a new circus." And they're just like, "Oh, hey, Mags, that's a great act. She's very exotic, very unusual.
What if I can't control it, Doctor?
But you already have."
Yeah.
And what about you and Ace? He says, "You can come travel the galaxy with us. I have other galaxies to travel."
Yeah. The circus is too sinister or something.
Yeah. In fact, I find circuses sinister. It's like I don't know if you were commending Ace because she did, or if you finally agreed with that, or if you're just using it as an excuse. But sure.
End of episode 4. Kind of ends abruptly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as they do.
What are your questions?
Goodbyes. We kind of covered most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Through, we never see the gods of Ragnarok again.
Yeah, we've never seen them before. We never see them again. They're never even mentioned, to the best of my knowledge.
Why do you think this one was so oddly paced? Were they maybe pushing in a 4th episode where it was going to be 3 episodes?
Well, yeah, and the final surprise that it's the gods of Ragnarok, when there's no even hint at that before out of this family. Well, there's something sinister behind this, and that family is part of it. I guess the gods of Ragnarok are as good as any other. It's just
strange.
The pacing on everything is strange. I honestly think that they might have been trying to get away from on-screen deaths, or a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they were working with a problematic budget, which also wouldn't allow you to show too many on-screen deaths.
Vaporizing is cheap.
Well, especially when it's done off-screen.
Yeah, off-screen vaporizing.
Yeah.
Poof, they're gone.
So I don't know. It just the whole thing's a little weird, and where the traditional cliffhangers would be is not where they are. Mm-hmm. And they're not traditional cliffhangers at all. There's no direct peril, and I don't know if they wanted to possibly say, hey, it's a show still for kids, here's a circus, but let's scare the bejeebies out of you.
Yeah, very creepy.
Yeah, or maybe they were just trying to stay alive by not showing too much death, which the show had been majorly criticized for previously, and not show too much peril.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it is very oddly edited.
The Silver Nemesis was 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I think this was slotted for 3 episodes also, and they had to smush it down, and all of a sudden there was 4 episodes again, and they opened up, and then they had to repad it. Some sort of like post-production things were going on, I think.
I don't know, but there's a lot of room in the early episodes that would have been great for explanation, where we're not getting any.
No.
And then that 4th episode, I don't know, they maybe just wanted to show off, not McGann, McCoy's.
Oh yeah.
They might just wanted to show off McCoy's ability to do that stuff. Because, they're like, well, that's a cheap way to get some time in here. Oh, that's right. McCoy can do all this stuff because he was a children's entertainer. Let's just get him to do that stuff. Who knows?
It works.
No.
Do we have any Doctor Who news this week?
So no more questions or comments?
Nope.
You had said earlier that you were really looking forward to me explaining this to you.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
Now do you understand it?
Yes.
Okay, so my explanation was
Your
sufficient.
explanation was it doesn't make sense.
No, it
They don't explain things as well.
there's a lot of stuff they don't explain.
Yeah.
But, just like a ghost light. But hopefully you understand what I explained of
You
it.
kind of have to
Makes sense.
make your own answers for things. Like, this happened off screen. This is probably why that happened.
They never explain why Cook has the robots to go after them, but you just have to assume that the Harlequin said, okay, go get them, because the Harlequin was very scared of the Doctor and Ace.
Drop the eye medallion down the well, and the Doctor's...
How did the Doctor know that was the exact moment?
Right. I guess because he was out of time. And
none of that is ever explained, but he keeps looking at his watch,
Yeah.
It's so weird, and they could have taken out some of the padding and explained a few things, but okay. It's just I still enjoy this serial, and did you?
I thought it was fun and goofy. I like the characters.
Yeah, the characters are great.
Plot and the story, the pacing not so much, but yeah, the characters I like. I like Mags.
The pacing is messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mags is great. Bellboy's great, and I like the Russian lady. I like the ringleader, and man, that Harlequin was creepy as hell.
Oh, super creepy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they all did a great job with what they had.
Mm-hmm.
That poor Whiz kid.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Doctor Who news. Let's see. We still do not have a date for the Christmas special from 2023.
Oh, that's bad.
We still do not have a date for Series 14. And of course, we do not have a date for this recent Christmas special a couple of months ago.
Does that lead us to believe that they're going to do stream only? Like they're not going to have a physical
No,
release?
because I have the 60th anniversary episodes up there. I just think that Disney has a year-plus clause on before they're released on DVD and Blu-ray, which is evidenced out by that stuff finally came out after a year, in January. And there's a lot of speculation as to whether or not Shuta Gatwai is going to continue as the Doctor, whether or not he's done once this series is over.
Already.
Lots of rumors and speculation on whether or not Disney's going to continue with it because the ratings are so garbage.
Wow.
And there's a lot of rumors and speculation as to whether or not it's going to continue.
Is it still pretty?
Might get canceled again and rested for 5 or 10 years because the ratings are garbage. But it's all the woke stuff that nobody likes, I don't care if the Doctor's black whatsoever. Don't freaking care.
Yeah.
What I want are good stories.
Could have had like Idris Elba as.
Oh God, Idris Elba would have been great.
Yeah.
Supposedly
Shuta
Gatwa was great.
I heard good things.
Yeah, he was won a BAFTA. But I don't want the woke garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants the woke garbage, and that's what's been killing the show.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
But we'll see. Season 25, oddly enough, is coming out very soon.
On Blu-ray.
On Blu-ray, later this month.
Oh,
And there's not much left in this month. I think it's next Tuesday. Which is funny, because we just finished up with season 25. So we didn't get to watch anything yet in Blu-ray. And the Smugglers. Did I tell you that one yet?
It's being animated.
Right, it's being animated.
Cool.
And that is helping to complete season 3, which was heavily season 3, 4?
Reconstructed.
4 maybe, but that was heavily. That season was so hard hit by the deleting, reusing the. Let's see. Boom. Yeah, season 4. The Smugglers, the first serial of season 4. So they keep going in and not the Smugglers, the Savages will be coming out, which is season 3. They keep going in. They keep not quite finishing any of the original 6 seasons because they've got a lot of work to do on season 4. Season 3, Dalek's Master Plan and stuff. So they keep.
We'll just animate this, and we can release it.
Right, we'll release it, and then eventually we'll finish up the season box set.
Yeah.
So.
Bit by bit.
Right, but they keep working on. They don't finish any of them, so they're trying to get them all one story left to finish. So there's no reason not to finish them all.
Yeah, there you go.
So if you finish 5 of the 6, but leave season 3 with giant gaping holes, the BBC might go, forget it.
Yeah.
But this way they keep finishing out stuff and not quite completing a season.
Sneaky.
So it's been what they've been doing the whole time. First with Troughton and now with Hartnell. But yeah, that's going on, and
season. We get a boom, 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 boom.
Well, eventually, like I said, I think it's going to take another 4 years or so. Season 7's coming out soon, which is the first one of Pertwee.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's finally gotten a date, at least in the UK, not here yet.
Ah.
So that'll be interesting. And like I said, slowly but surely completing all the holes. And we are in the main group. We are on Survival. Would have finished it up on Sunday, but Beard's son didn't look good and was starting to have a fever.
That's been going around.
Yeah, so he had to go home.
My niece has been under the weather.
We were going to do the 3 episodes, which is all it is. We just did 1. So you and I continue to have chances to catch up. We just have to do it.
We'll get there.
All right.
That about does it.
Oh, do you want to vote on our favorite season 25 story?
Oh, we could.
Yeah. All right.
Our favorite of season 25.
Yep. You can still see season 24 on here.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm going to flip over to where season 25 is. All right. Yeah, next Tuesday, 2/25, it comes out. All right. Now remember, this is the 25th season, so we get a lot of the classics.
My hip popped.
Don't be too old.
You know when it like pops right in the joint?
Yeah. But despite all the problems with this serial, the weird pacing, the other things, I really, really like it. I think it's fun. And like I said, I love the characters. They're so distinct. Silver Nemesis. And the greatest show in the galaxy.
Hey, we just watched that.
Yep. All right. We are super high tech here with whiteboards.
Yeah, boy.
Okay. Schwink.
So right off the bat, we can wipe this one off. My vote would be the Happiness Patrol. I didn't like that one so much.
I think it's fun, but it is really bad. So I can agree with you. Good. It is of these. It is obviously the worst.
Definitely,
it is not good.
You got it going up against the Silver Nemesis, which was great. You got it going against the Daleks, which was great.
And the Greatest Show in the Galaxy.
Yeah, these are my next two favorite. I like the Silver Nemesis more than the one we just watched, The Greatest Show, because of those pacing problems. And then, of course, you can't go wrong with Daleks.
Remember to the Daleks is neat because you have Ace with the baseball bat beating up the Daleks.
Yeah, and you have the creepy child with the... Which goes back into the human
the hand of Omega and all that stuff. I like that. I like Silver Nemesis is cool because of the time stuff.
Yeah, you have like 3 different distinct times battling it out for this one artifact.
Right. You come to here and you go to there and this is going on.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So even though we like the characters in this one, I think it has a lot of weaknesses compared to these other two.
Hold on. Oh man, these are all pretty good, but I think
They are pretty good.
All right,
Would you cross off Silver Nemesis instead?
I would cross off Silver Nemesis. Torn between these two,
These two are great.
but I also really like this one.
You do like this one. You like the characters in this one. You don't like the pacing so much.
The
Plot was
I don't
strange.
mind it. It's just different and weird. It has problems.
It does have some plot holes in there.
Yeah. What did we say during this? Yes, we understand. Racism is bad.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna vote for this one for the winner.
Me too.
I don't want to have to decide between these two. I just want to give this give it to this.
See, I would vote this one get crossed off next.
See, I think I would vote the other one get crossed off next.
And you would cross this one.
Right, but so I think we can agree to cross them both off at the same time and just give it to Daleks.
And we
That's what I'm saying. I'm just
Daleks-
voting for this one.
Yeah, me too.
All right, remember to the Daleks.
Remember to
Write that down.
Another Dalek episode has it.
I like how they go back to Totter's Lane. How they go back to the same junkyard.
Callback.
How they almost show Doctor Who being on the air, literally.
Yeah.
Just there's some neat things about it, and a lot of mystery to it when they're trying to make the Doctor out to be the other one, and some other neat things, and lots of callbacks, which I like. And you've got that guy who you think is in the beginning is going to be a love interest for Ace. Oh, is Ace leaving because he's falling in love? No, he's a bad guy and he dies.
They'll pine for each other.
All right. Okay, next week, Battlefield.
Battlefield. That sounds like a cool one.
4 episodes. It's pretty cool, actually.
The first of Serial Season 26.
First of Season 26, Battlefield, 4 episodes.
Stay tuned. You heard it here first, folks.
Yep. See you next week.
Probably heard it here last, too.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.